Well, hello to you. Hello, welcome back to the same thing that you know what this is. It's me playing Spelunky in a daily challenge every day, but except for the days I don't, which is quite a lot of the days. Today you can see it's quite early in the morning and no one else has done a daily challenge yet. So what I'm going to do is actually try and navigate to the right menu where I can do this. And I'll talk about a topic which is, for this one and this batch, is going to be a slightly more important topic than some of the topics I covered last time for my first 10, which I don't know, I guess a lot of them were important, but some of these are maybe a bit more personal to me. You may well have seen the last one I did, which was on feminism, which as far as I'm concerned was a little bit of a disaster, because it's a complex and incredibly important topic that I could only really skirt around or give a very approximate introduction to, and hopefully that's inspired people a little, or given something of a taste of why it matters. I don't know, possibly. As you can see from the title of this video, which is above the video, unless there's like some crazy technical error. Yeah, way to accidentally kill a snake. This video is sort of about a couple of things. It's about education and science and astronomy and Carl Sagan, which, yeah, I know that's complicated, that's not really one topic, but the reason that's happening will make sense, hopefully, if I explain things properly, maybe. I don't know. Whoa! That I could have done that better, or not done it at all. Oh dear. This topic was suggested to me by, I'm really sorry, a commenter whose name I forgot, which I will put in the actual video notes, so credit is appropriately given. They very correctly pointed out that I'd put down Carl Sagan as being a bit of an inspiration or a little bit of a hero of mine. As I understand, he is to quite a lot of people. And they said, well, why don't you do something to do with Carl Sagan? Which is a good idea. The thing is, as part of this explanation, I should point out that my experience of Carl Sagan is quite different to quite a few other people's. As I understand it, Carl Sagan had a TV show called Cosmos in the early 80s, which was a big popular science show that I think, especially in America, a lot of people watched and really enjoyed and found very educational, which is great. I never lived in America, and I have never seen this television series, and it's great that something seems to have happened recently with a sort of, there's been a new rationalism movement, I'm sure, over the last 4 or 5 years on the internet, that has seen, among other people, Carl Sagan really, really venerated. And it's lovely to see, whoops, that was the wrong button, that kind of an interest in science. And this is coming from me, who's a guy who's sort of actually really keen on the humanities. Lovely to see that. And it's lovely to see people who are really keen on Carl Sagan who might never have seen Cosmos. But I can't actually say that I saw Cosmos. I have the Cosmos book. I just sound like I'm boasting now, don't I? It was in my, that was an accident, but that was cool. It's been in my possession since I was a kid. It was in my house when I grew up, and it's a book I remember being around when I was as young as about 3 or 4. I started to read very, very early. And this was a book that I couldn't read, but it had amazing pictures because it has amazing space art in it. And I didn't read it probably until I was about 14 properly. It was just always in the house for, you know, whatever reason. I think my dad had bought it and then not read it, which is probably a shame, but he bought a lot of books and they just lay around. And you know what, I read quite a few of them. And I'm going to drop this dog down here, and if it gets hit by an arrow and flies into spikes, that saves me getting hit by an arrow and flying into spikes. Or it could just do that. You know, I don't know why the hell that would happen, but never mind. I don't even know what the point of dogs is. apart from to hurl at things. Come on, bat. Right. You know what? We're just going to get this ball rolling. So this is good. You've learnt nothing so far, which is excellent. Video's going well, as per usual. You just see this, you just detect the anger in my voice. So I had the book. I had the Cosmos book, which I think actually was the book of the TV series. I think the TV series came first, and the written stuff came after. Or it was a sort of edited version of the show with some extra stuff, or some stuff not included, and maybe some stuff cut. But I simply experienced Carl Sagan there in written form. And you know what? It's an extremely good non-fiction book. And it was, as a kid, probably my favourite non-fiction book. And really quite a revelation to me. So let me try and explain why, and explain why this all hooks into a bigger and more complex topic than just one thing. Why I've, you know, made this Spelunky Daily Challenge a really sort of overcomplicated one. First of all, Carl Sagan's kind of an astronomer, but not really. He's generally a scientist, but actually not really, because he actually talks quite a bit about history as well, and he gets into, I suppose, a bit of philosophy and anthropology. And actually the book just covers a lot of things, because it turns out, and this is something that I think is very important, there's not really any discipline that just exists by itself anywhere ever. And the idea of that is actually a little bit crazy. There isn't simply just science. I mean, there isn't simply just physics or astronomy, because in order to fully understand everything that an astronomer or a group of astronomers do, actually you might need to know some, well, physics is different to astronomy, right? And then there's chemistry, and then let's just sell that, because I don't want to be carrying stuff around, because I'm clearly off to a bad start here. And then, well, actually Carl Sagan talks about, oh, big spider found another way down, not having a lovely day today, I might just try and get off this level, because I'm not feeling very confident, and I've got a complex topic to try and articulate, and I don't have any notes. Oh dear, because I do all this on the fly. So it's fine, I've got a whole heart left. So the important thing really is, I don't even understand any of this. I don't get how any of this happened today. Cosmos covers everything from philosophy to anthropology to religion. And Carl Sagan generally did. And the most important thing with all education is to try and be general. It's important to develop specific skills. It's important to find what you're good at. But nothing in the world exists by itself. Nothing is self-contained. Certainly if you happen to be a person studying right now, thinking about what you're going to study, don't for a moment think that what you do at university is the only thing that you can do, or the only thing that you can care about. When you pick your university subject, or your A-level, or college subjects, or whatever, and just look at what people do in the real world. Look at a person and ask them what they studied, and see how connected they are or aren't. And often they won't, because the world is really a series of Venn diagrams of things that overlap. But what is important is that certainly Carl Sagan always advocated. He advocated the scientific method. By the way, just want to point out 29th in the whole world. Obviously no one's played this yet, but that's a great rank. And we won't go and look back at that next time, because the number will just get lower. It's very important to be critical, though. It's very important to ask questions. And certainly I think this is why some of the new atheists who are such a big fan of Carl Sagan are quite vehemently anti-religion. Is obviously religion offers answers, and it doesn't offer a framework for being critical, or it offers beliefs rather than ideas, and it so often tells you things rather than asks you to work things out for yourself. And a very defining thing in becoming a human is working things out for yourself and becoming your own person. And if I hadn't been killed by spiders, I think I could have done quite a good job of covering all of this. But I have been killed by spiders, so it remains for me to say that this is done. It's over. I'll be picking another slightly more personally important topic for my next Spelunky Daily Challenge, which I might do tomorrow. I tell you what, it's going to be a busy couple of days for me. I clearly haven't thought about what it is. Actually, I have. Not going to tell you. This is just me moving a mouse, talking to a screen. So I'd better go now. And bye. Yep.